What is honesty? Honesty is the moral quality of being truthful, fair, and free of deceit. No, this is not the definition of honesty I'm looking for. The word fair and honesty are interchangeable when it comes to games, especially competitive games like a PvP hero shooter or a one-on-one fighting game. Typically, when we refer to a character as an honest character, we are simply just calling them a fair character to face. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this video: fairness and moral rivals. And before I even get into talking about what I want to talk about, I just want to let it be known, these are my opinions. If you don't agree with them, that's okay. You're welcome to disagree with any points I make. With that out of the way, let me establish this. Almost every character in this game has a little bit of unfairness to their kit. And please listen to that over again. I said almost. I did not say all. This game does have truly honest characters. They're just very few and far in between. But for the ones that aren't that honest, that's where a lot of the frustration comes from when you face them. Majority of the characters in this game have some odd gimmick or insanely strong cooldown that will immediately tip the scale of a fight in their favor. One of the prime examples of this is Elsa's trap. It is invisible, unbreakable, and once you are trapped in it, she gets a follow-up attack for free. Like, what is that? Why is that a thing? And let's not forget, the Devil Dinosaur team up gives it an AoE radius. So now, you don't even have to be near it to get trapped. Any half-decent Elsa player will know how to place their traps too. It's not a hard cooldown to use. All she does is just lob out an invisible trap. What's difficult about that? This is one of the most egregious case of dishonesty in a character. It's completely unfair. Now, something like Elsa Trap has zero counterplay once it's actually set, but there are various cases in this game where there is counterplay to something, but still unfair due to how a character is fundamentally made. Before Season 9 arrived, I genuinely believe that Venom was one of the most fair characters to play against in this game. And look, you can call me crazy for that, but the reason why I thought he was very fair to play against is because all he did was live, cause distractions in enemy teams' backlines, and enable his teammates. That's pretty much all he did. Remember, this character can actively get over 1000 HP in a fight routinely with his ult and his E. So him not doing high burst damage and him not being able to face tank for his team is fine in my book. All you had to do was just look out for the Venom, pressure him out, mark him, and you were fine. But then Season 9 arrived and the developers lost their goddamn minds again. That Phoenix team up has made Venom unstoppable. Think about how much you're able to get away with on Venom. He has good mobility, good survivability, and he has easy cooldowns to rotate. Giving him burst damage on top of that is way too much. Yes, there's still plenty of counterplay to Venom. He is a CC magnet and he takes a lot of damage. But the thing about him was his kill potential wasn't as high as it is now, and that's starting to become very unfair to face. But let me switch it up a bit. I want to talk about some characters I genuinely believe are just straight up fair to face right now. Or at the very least, characters that don't have too much going on with the new team ups they've added. I'm not going to go into too much depth with them like I just did with Venom. I just want to make mention of them in the various degrees in which I believe they're honest. So the three I have in mind are Magneto, Mantis, and Mr. Fantastic. I'm just going to get this one out the way fast. If you do not believe Magneto is a fair character to face, I have no idea what kind of game you're playing. Currently, as of now, Magneto does have some of the strongest team-ups in the game. So strong, in fact, that his unenhanced team-up with Scarlet Witch is actually better than his enhanced team-up. Magneto is just that unique of a character. All jokes aside, the reason why I say Magneto is still one of the most fair characters in the game is because while you're playing Magneto, you cannot ignore the core fundamentals of the game. If you feint walk on Magneto, you are going to explode. Mag doesn't have some super duper easy get out of jail free card. Yeah, you may hate the bubbles, but it's just a mag bubble. You can break it. He has to manage his cooldowns well, and he has to be aware of his positioning because he's very easy to just kidnap and kill. I just think it's fair to play against a character who can't ignore the fundamentals of the game. Now let's move on to Mantis, and boy oh boy, I know mentioning support and the word fair in the same conversation in this game is a little bit hard, but but just stay with me, alright? Let me explain myself and why I believe she actually is fair to face. Yes, that sleep is stupid. I will never disagree with that. I hate hard CCs that are not skill shots, alright? Her being able to lob a sleep ball onto the floor and you get hard CC for about 4 seconds is not fair in the slightest. That is literally the only BS I can think of when it comes to her kit. Her damage boost and healing being attached to the same resource meter really forces you as a player to understand how to manage your cooldowns. And on top of that, her now being able to be played in double support really exposes the triple support merchants and the actual good Mantis players who know how to position themselves well and get a lot of headshots to get leaves back. There's no world in which you can play Mantis how you play Rocket and Cloak and Dagger. For some strange reason, they gave Cloak and Dagger another get out of jail free card. And I'm so happy about that one, guys. We love the Marvel Rivals devs, right? Now is Mr. Fantastic's turn. And let me tell you, I have some very odd feelings about Mr. Fantastic. He reminds me of Hulk before he got his bubble changes, and he reminds me of Magic before the Doctor Strange team up. This is going to be a little bit weird to say, but the thing is with Mr. Fantastic is he plays the game a little bit too well. And by that, I mean he has to play by the game's rules. And if he doesn't, he's literally useless. He has one of the lower TTKs in the game. He doesn't have high mobility and his ult's not really that good. But Mr. Fantastic has cheese in his kit. But have you ever noticed when you're facing a Mr. Fantastic, what is the one thing he's doing? He's just not dying. Yeah, he may beat you up in a 1v1. He may deter some dive characters, but really, what about Mr. Fantastic in this game screams that is completely unfair? Nothing. And that's the problem with Fantastic. He's too honest of a character in a game full of characters who are not honest. If you want to mention the refrigerator form and how it negates all damage, that's fair, but there's plenty of other abilities in this game that give you iframes or make you invulnerable that are way worse to deal with. And for my final points in this video, I want to make it clear, if a character is hard to use, that does not mean they are honest. There is a lot of characters in this game that are extremely difficult to use but have very unfair and unhealthy kits to face. Don't even get me started on a certain man from Wakanda. I can make a whole video on what the hell is wrong with him as a character. This may be like the fighting game player in me, and I'm sorry if I mentioned it a lot in my videos, but that's how I really view hero shooters and how I break them down, because they're so similar in how you go about certain matchups. I've never been a big fan of the argument, oh, this character requires a lot of skill, so he can ignore the fundamentals of the game because everyone can't just pick him up and play him. That's horseshit of an argument, if I'm being honest, because you're basically saying certain characters should be able to play a different game while majority of the cast is forced to play the same game. For any of you that has ever played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate competitively, you know about Steve from Minecraft being in that game. He is not playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's playing whatever the fuck the developers allowed him to play in that game. With the addition of these new team-ups, almost every character has something new about them that we have to figure out. Now, we're almost into season 9.5, and I would say we figured out majority of the things in the game, but there's still a lot to be discovered, and when there's a lot to be discovered, that also means certain characters that are not favorable to face in terms of fairness might become way more annoying to face. And there's a couple of team ups I have in mind that were given to some relatively fair characters that I kind of don't like because of what they do for the character. I believe Magic and Star-Lord have some pretty high skill expression, alright? They are mechanically sound characters that you can get a lot out of if you know how to play the game well. But letting Magic have a 6-man chain with the enhanced team up and letting Star-Lord root people in the ground by just throwing some Groot roots on the floor, I don't know, man. I'm not too much of a fan of that. Something about seeing characters who I believe are honest do some very unhonest things after season 9 just kind of, rubs me the wrong way. To summarize this whole part up, skill expression does not mean a character is fair to face. Alright, so let's wrap this up. No game is going to have perfect fairness amongst the characters in the game. Everyone is going to have a little bit of BS in their kit, a little bit of cheese. It's just in Marvel Rivals, there are certain characters in this game that just have way too much, and it becomes very frustrating to deal with, especially when you're able to stack that annoyance on top of other annoyance in this game. It's hard to find very frequent fair interactions in Marvel Rivals. I can go on all day about that though. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.